Hello and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. I'm Count Christo and this is the Underpowered US playthrough. We're going to continue our build up in this episode. We're down to 7 divisions due to my cull of the army, but we're training up plenty more, so fear not. And fortunately there's nothing in this game. We're not going to get a surprise war from Canada or Mexico, so we're going to be okay. Now, just wondering what else I can really do during these pauses while we just build up all our focuses that we need. So what we're going to be doing first is an invasion of Venezuela. So let's start getting ready for that. Is that ours? No, that's French. Okay, so we're going to be invading from here. I think what we'll probably try and do is let's take this province here, this port here, and then we'll work from there. Wait, that's not a port. There's the port. My mistake. Let's edit that thing. There, and there. Okay, good. This is how I always like to do naval invasions. By the way, when you're doing naval invasions, be sure to have a general in charge, because they can get a trait which lets them plan naval invasions much faster. So I'm going to use this field marshal for almost everything, Eisenhower. But Patton, as wrong as he proved to be in my German playthroughs, is going to endeavour to get that trait. It's called an invader, I think. Yeah, I don't know if you get it from when you plan naval invasions or when you launch naval invasions, but we're going to see if we can get him to get that trait, which will let us invade much faster. Alright, there's the Monroe Doctrine. Great. Increased trade opinion. That's quite useful, I guess. I want to do this one last, just in case Venezuela switches to democratic and prevents us from attacking them. That would be annoying. Since we're first going to be attacking down here, we might as well, I guess, send out our fleets straight away. Oop, didn't give a admiral to the best guy. Okay, number of fleets, just retreat chance. No, let's go with that one. Higher spotting chance sounds good to me. This is the main main fleet. There we go. I like split off for all of my fleets, so I'm going to just set those on. Great. Okay, there we are. Are any of these guys experienced? Yeah, okay, the experienced ones, I'd like... in fact, yeah, all of those have a little bit of experience, so I'll replace the guys at the ports with some of the less experienced guys as they come out. Basic machine tools, great. We're going to go to dispersed industry. I like dispersed industry, I like the production efficiency retention. It's very good. There's the Spanish Civil War. You can always tell when it glitches around now that they've got, there you go, no Spanish Civil War. Cool. So we don't have a dog again in this race. We don't really mind who wins, because they won't join until long after the Axis have capitulated, or being well. But we'll be curious to see who wins. I always root for the Republicans, because they win so rarely. What on earth is going on, guys? Where are the attacks? They've decided it's going to be a pacifistic civil war this time, apparently. Oh, no, there we go. Just realised we're on daily autosave. Let's switch that out to monthly. This is a really weird civil war. Where's the push? Okay, there we go. A bit of a push in the north now. But still, time is flying by. It's very odd. I think a slower start is an advantage for the Republicans, because they start out with far less equipment. But looks like the Nationalists have decided to push. Maybe it's something about the new patch, although I've had previous campaigns on this patch. Don't know. Oh, our political power is just dire. Dire! Construction 1, lovely. Let's get... I really want to get things that focus on producing our production. Let's get synthetic oil. Wait a minute. Is there something that's going to get us better synthetic oil production? I don't think so. Doesn't look like it. No. Okay, well, let's get synthetic oil researched early. I think that would be helpful. Yeah, looks like the Nationalists are going to win as always. It's not quite as always, but it's pretty much as always. There's the Caribbean sphere. Ooh, we actually have enough political power to do something. Huzzah! So we've got minus 25% from that, and we can get plus 25% from the silent workforce. No, plus 15%. Darn! I think he still might be worthwhile. No, no, no. We should get the superior warpower, firepower expert, because we need that army experience. Right? Or should we get the silent workhorse? It's tricky, because we're going to be strapped for political power, and he would help quite a bit. Yep, I'm going to get him. So now we're only going down by 0.2 per day. That's not bad. I swear silent workhorses are normally plus 25%. Have you got a silent workhorse that I can look at? No. Is anyone? No, doesn't look like it. Oh well. I like watching the Spanish Civil War just because, you know, it's the only bit of combat that goes on this early in the game. Patterns all planned up. So has he got any progress towards Invader? No, not yet. It's interesting. I wonder if you get it as they land or as you send them off. Because if it's as you send them off, you could game it by just constantly sending them off, then cancelling it, and sending them off, then cancelling it. We'll look into that when we launch the attack, if I remember. Hopefully I shall. Yeah, this. Yeah, that's the one that's horrendous. Recruitment population factor minus 50%, 30% consumer good factories. God, yeah, the Great Depression is really hard to deal with. Which I suppose is, you know, historical. I'm going to tell them not to have a location to train just so I know when they're ready. We've got loads of convoys. Let's produce slightly less convoys. And also produce some light cruisers since we've already got them at level 2. And we want them in New England. The high level one. Good. In fact, no, that's not where I want them. I want them to deploy directly to the fleets for now. The main fleet, obviously. Oh, looks like we've had some deploy. Ooh, there's our first carrier. I'll have him merge in to this. Why isn't he merging in? Did I misclick? Combine them two, hit G. Now you should go to them. Yes, there we go. Okay, so is this going to cause over 25% world tension? I hope so. Okay, got some units ready to deploy. Great. Let's deploy them. We're going to deploy them down in Florida, I think, since that's closer to where we're going to want them first. I'm going to set them to training. Oh yes, and actually you guys should leave that plan and get training. We need every little scrap of army experience we can get our hands on. So let's have them train too. Yes. Cool. And yeah, as more and more deploy down here, in fact, I'll have them move one province just so that the other guys deploy somewhere where I'll notice when they deploy. It looks like support equipment is the limiting factor at the moment. Let's put the next military factory onto support equipment. How are we doing on factories wise? Looks like we've banged out a couple. Central America. Okay, the neighbours next up. Ooh, got enough for another modification. But I think I'm going to save up because I want to get Patton. Bit odd that we have to hire Patton, considering he's already a general, but there you go. Life goes on. Yeah, only going down by 0.2 per day is a lot better than going down by 0.5 a day. I think that was worth it. He'll pay himself off, you know. What's he giving us? 0.3 a day? So what's 150 divided by 0.3? About a year and a half. He'll pay himself off in. There's the next research. Great. Keep plying on through those. No, actually, let's wait till, since we're about to get Patton, let's hold off on this next one, because we're going to have Pattons pretty soon, so let's get radio instead. Yeah, that's good to me. Right. They do all give us political power, these, don't they? Does Pax Americana? No, that's annoying. What these ones do, basically, is if the country they're affecting is democratic, they give it ideology drift defense, and if the country they're affecting is not democratic, they give it drift towards what do you call it? Towards democracy, right? I forgot to check between episodes, but we're going to go with. Oh, it says here now. I don't know if it used to say that. Okay, so if we go to the Republicans, we switch from this guy. We get Standard Oil of California, which is good. Or we could have infrastructure construction speed plus 20%. That's pretty good. Well, yeah, actually that's pretty good, because we're going to have to build infrastructure when we're invading into the Soviets. So let's go with, yeah, the Democrats, 4 more years. I think it will get. I think there are some pop-up benefits that will give us at some point, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, good. They finished training, so we can assign them back in. These guys. Oh, he's finished training. Stop him. Cool. New guy. Set to training. Move him off. Let's move him up here. There we go. Anyone else close? Yep. He can go there. Cool. Okay, moving towards the next one, at which point we can switch in our next theorist. That'll be good. Fantastic. Right, so the destroyers for bases thing, where's that? Here it is. If we can get down to here, we can get a bunch of land off the UK, but I don't think it really matters. And I think they get a bunch of our destroyers. So I think we just wait for... I think we'll probably just enter the war when Japan declares war on us. But in order to do that, I think we have to go for the Pearl Harbor Gambit. So we're going to need to go down War Plan Orange. There's mechanical computing, fantastic. Let's get that, might as well. And there's Dispersed Industry one, fantastic. It's December, so I'm going to wait a bit, and then I'm going to switch all of my researchers. I'm going to switch off these and do this one, and this one as soon as possible, because we need them urgently. Okay, let's get South America now, which gives us enough political power to hire... Where is he? Patton. Fantastic. So now we're going to start powering up on some army experience, which is great news. Let's assign him over here. We're up to 9 on that invasion. You can only have a 10 at the moment because of our technology level. It's restricted just here. This one lets you do 10, this one lets you do 50, and this one lets you do 150. Ooh, there he is. Why aren't you still patrolling? Cool, cool, cool. New guy. Let's move him up here. And then start him training. Empty slot. Okay, cool. Industry. We need Dispersed Industry. I'm going to switch off this. We're going to go straight back to it after this research is done, but it's more important that we get these ones out as soon as possible, because the industry researchers are just vital. Absolutely vital. Right. You nearly done, guys? Yeah, getting there. Got a huge deficit just because I queued up so many troops. But only 2 years, I mean, that's not bad. Looks like we're not going to run out of manpower before we run out of... for quite a while, since we've got so many more units that we need to train up before anything's actually going to happen. So yeah, you'll notice that lots of these nations, like Mexico, has this thing, US influence, which is going to make them drift towards democracy over time. The final one on the right-hand side down here, Black Chamber Operation, means that we can boost the popularity of other parties, so we could boost up fascism or communism. And also, in Brazil and Bolivia, you get some civil wars. I really don't care, so I'm not going to bother. And eventually these guys will go democratic anyway, because of our focuses that's going to give them daily democratic support. So I really couldn't care less whether or not they're democratic early on, so we're not going to bother. Now, do I want to invade here, or do I want to invade here and here? I think I want to invade here and here, so let's split 5 of these guys off, and then put them back in. And then tell them to plan naval invasion from Miami down here to Maracaibo? Don't know. Anyway, that'll do. So plan that other one up. Just a month to do that, not too bad. He's already there, good. You fully trained. Okay, so now you can go back to our reserves, and I'm going to have my reserves... Nearly done there. I'm going to have my reserves wait in Boston, because that's our furthest north port and the closest port to the UK. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to hold France against Germany. We are going to try. I'm not going to just give up France, but I'm going to be constantly aware of the fact that we may well need to withdraw. If we do need to withdraw, I'm going to do something that worked really well in my Canada playthrough, which is we're going to withdraw and try and hold these 3 provinces down here for as long as we can, and the Germans tend to throw troops and troops and troops and troops at that, so we might just try and hold out down there. I think that could be quite effective. But yeah, the rest of our guys are going to be based in mainland United Kingdom. Okay, finished training, yes, good, so you can get assigned... Oh, sorry, this guy shouldn't be training. That's our reserves. He should, in fact, be in Patton's army. Yeah, great. As soon as these guys land, by the way, I'm going to switch out Patton for someone else. Still no progress towards Invader, so it doesn't look like it's going to be else, so we're going to be able to game there. Okay, so we can get Pax Americana now. Still not enough to get this, because we need Japan to declare war. How long is it until Japan's going to declare war, do you reckon? No national focus set. Go on, go for the border incident. No, not quite. That's irritating. Oh, good. We can pick another member of our cabinet. I really like this aspect to the game. It's more interesting, much more interesting to me than it was in Hearts of Iron 3. In Hearts of Iron 3, if you don't know, you could switch all these out pretty much freely. You had a couple of options, but they were all kind of meh. They didn't really matter much, and you didn't have a significant military staff, so I like this one. Now, I think we're going to be all about that offense in this one, but first off, we should probably get some plane designers and ship designers, because we're going to be using lots of planes and ships in this game, unlike in previous ones. We might want to go... We're on free trade at the moment. At some point we might want to go down to export focus, because while the bonuses are nice, it makes it difficult to field big armies. Let's go with... How long is it going to be until we next do some air research? Not very long, because we're going to want this one. And probably tactical bombers. How about ships? How are we doing on ships? I think we're ahead of time on ships. No, we're up to date. We're basically only going to build carriers, some subs, some light cruisers. That's pretty much it. I'm really not sure. Maybe military factories? But we're not building military factories yet. Let's go with industrial concern. Just so we can get these techs done. All these techs done faster. Industry, incidentally, okay, so when it says gives you an industry bonus, that guy, as this does, right? 10% off industrial research time. That refers to the tab, okay? Industry, engineering, air doctrine, air, naval doctrine, and etc. It might also say gives you a bonus to construction, which is just this one. Irritatingly, industry. Industry bonuses always refer to this tab, not this one. Engineering, you can sometimes get electronics bonuses, which apply to these ones here, not these ones here. It's called engineering, not electronics. The only exception to that, as far as I know, is the annoying fact that there's two things called industry, which is rather irritating, but I don't know, maybe one day they'll change that. I don't have very high hopes, though. That's the kind of thing that it'd be quite like Paradox to leave in. Now, we are only 2 focuses. We can do this whenever, right? Yes, great. So we get a puppet war goal, but we're not going to puppet them, we're going to conquer them. Is that right? No, we should puppet them, because... yeah, because we've got plenty of oil. They produce lots of oil, nothing else, right? We've got plenty of oil, and if we puppet them, that means we're going to be able to use their manpower, just like the Philippines. How is the Philippines division, by the way? Oh, that's pretty good, and we can edit this, right? Yeah, okay, we can edit the Filipino division. That's fantastic. Let's upgrade our infantry now. How much is that going to cost in terms of equipment? Far more than we have, but I think it's fine for them to have a bit of a deficit for a while. I think that's fine. Cool. Let me know if you want to see other kind of big nation campaigns with ramped up difficulty settings, because, or maybe I should just try, like, always play with ramped up difficulty settings, kind of from now on. I mean, when we can win as Austria in normal, maybe that's a sign that we should play on harder difficulty settings, I'm not sure. Although, of course, we did use Italy in our Austrian campaign, which was a bit gamey, but, I think it was fine. I'm going to add this guy to do the Florida coast as well, so we have naval supremacy so we can send off those guys. Here comes Bar and Stokes mortar. And done. Great. So let's get in this Pax Americana, let's finish up synthetic oil. Oh, Hindenburg's disaster. Oh, the humanity. Preemptive intervention. Fantastic. And what was the other one we were doing? Radio. It was radio, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so switch back over to radio. There we go. Okay, so a mere, what is that? Now it's 55 days, and then we're going to declare war on them. It's irritating though. We need there to be 25% world tension. No, 20%. We need Japan to declare war on China, basically, because we want to be able to do military construction. Because note, only this one requires us to be at war. Oh no, so does that one. Darn. Does this one? No. So if we can do the giant wakes and these two, then we can go all the way down to Arsenal of Democracy, which gives us loads of military factories. Limited intervention, which would be great. Extra research slot, great. Does that require we do destroyers and faces? No. Manhattan Project, great. Why is there a link between these two? Oh, because that requires a limited intervention. We can do the Manhattan Project, we can do Liberty ships. You know, we want these ones, and they're all locked behind being at war. The idea is that keeps you out of the war for ages. It keeps you off from doing them for ages, but if we can pull a little bit of an exploit by being at war with Venezuela while we do them, that'll be fantastic. You might be thinking only 60% base national unity, oh, that's not so good, but it really doesn't matter, because nobody is going to set 1 foot onto American soil for our entire campaign, all being well. Maybe the new AI bonuses are just going to trash me. That would be quite a funny campaign, but we ended up just getting totally decimated. But one campaign I might do in the future, no, we've got pattern, it's fine to do that. A campaign I might try and do in the future is, I'm not sure how you do this, I'd have to get better at modifying the game files, but do something like play as the United States, begin yourself with a puppet of Canada and Mexico, and then make everyone else in the world fascist. That'd be quite good fun, and seeing if you could take them on. That could be a good fun game. I might try and do some of those kind of fantasy scenarios once I feel like I've wrapped up the really good fun campaigns in the base game. But as I say, I'd have to get significantly better at modifying game states before I could do that. Or, you know, one of you lovely people who's good at that could do it. Oh good, she circumnavigated the Grove, that's great. In the future we're going to be able to recruit her as a, whatchamacallit, a ace to command our fighters. I forgot when I put this guy up here that we need more people defending our ports, so I'm going to have him redeploy over there, and actually these guys need a bit more training because we added in that extra artillery. There's the Treaty of Madrid, end of the Spanish Civil War, cool. Obviously the nationalists win, as they almost always do. Soviets did their purge, and there it is. Preemptive intervention. Complete. Fantastic. Okay, so we want this one next. How long is it until you do your war? Excellent. Not long at all. Oh, I missed the Chinese border incident. I must have just clicked off it just then. Okay, so in 70 days, he's going to do war with Japan, and we can do this one. Which means we have 70 days free to do whatever we want. I'm not going to bother with this one, as I said. Support Rock Island. That's quite good. Bonus research for artillery. 3 for electronics. That's pretty good. But I do like, yeah, let's get Bureau of Ships, because the earlier you get that, the better. 5% discount on the shipbuilding time. That's really good. And that's going to finish at just the right time to coincide with theirs finishing. And that way we can start that straight away. Okay, so Puppet Focus War Goal. Declare. Right, slow down a bit. Oh, excuse me. And stop your training. Launch the attacks. Oh, no, don't, because they're training. They've been training so their organization's super low, so let's just speed up time until their organization gets back up to full, and then we'll launch the attacks. Market Bird Bridges. Oh, sorry, I didn't click through the attack. I'm thinking too little of myself. And, oh, interesting experiment. They're at 50. Can you regain organization while at sea? I do not know. I'm going to split the main fleet in half. Send half of it... Oh, why didn't it... That's odd. And yeah, stop their plans and send one of them here and one of them here. Because if you stand next to a battle in progress when you're a fleet, you give the you get a bonus. Stupidly large carriers. They do look funny. There's radio. What else do we need? Oh, we definitely need motorized. Yeah, so by standing here with ships, you give yourself a pretty sizable bonus. Looks like they're not defending this side. That's rather dumb of them. What's their national unity? 70%. Yeah, so there you go. She wants to enlist. Oh, but it costs 10 political power. Oh, Earhart, that's tragic. We have so little political power, I'm going to have to say no. Oh, that's really annoying. Okay, great. We have a port. But remember, we don't want to win this war. Not for like 100 days. They've got 70% national unity. I think I can take every province but their capital, and they won't surrender. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take every province except their capital. Okay, so let's have them split the country in 2. These guys haven't arrived yet, because they've got much longer to go. And yeah, you'll see, it's called shore bombardment. The bonus you get from having your planes there. Oh, there they are. Where are you going? Just over there? No, you don't need to go over there. Let's go there. Great. Okay, so we've cleft their country in 2. These guys are going to have low supply because there's no victory points down here. Okay, that's an interesting way to spread out. I told them to go here, here, and here, and they went 4 here. Interesting. So yeah, see this attack here? They, on their attack, I believe, have, yeah, shore bombardment minus 25%. That's the icon for it, so that's pretty good. This guy now, he's done his work. Actually, he should stay there, because they're getting it here, right? Yeah. So he should stay. Since it's actually 25% flat, I'm going to spread out the fleets, so we always have that bonus. There we go. 4 carriers, 4 fleets, perfect. And yeah, as I say, we're not going to take Caracas. Yeah, your plan is to go there. Oh, and we've won the battle for this port. Marvellous. Go down there. And... fantastic. Well, this was a really good start to the war with Venezuela. We're going to, as I say, keep this war going for ages and ages while we just encircle their capital, while we power through these ones. Because now you can see in there it says tick. We're allowed to do that one. Can't do that one yet, but this one, tick, can do that one. This one, tick, can do that one. So we're going to wait, we're going to keep them keep them in suspense for the next 210 days. But until then, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.